Yo, this is Mike, Ringmaster of the Imagination Circus, and I'm sorry I'm a little late, but here we are with the newest reaction to the newest episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And I do want to apologize. All I'll say about that, why I'm a little late about this, later than usual, because, you know, the delay is usually because of a block to the video, but truthfully, I'm just now recording this a couple of days after the episode is out. And the reason for that is because I had some trouble with my YouTube channel on Friday, and it kind of put me into a bit of a depression, not a major one. Thankfully, everything got resolved, and I'm feeling much better now, and because of that, I'm even more eager to get into making this video. But regardless, let's get to it. But before we do, look what I bought. Yeah, I bought this yesterday. Was feeling better about everything, and I saw this while it was out, and bam, I had to have it. So going forward, Tempest here will be enjoying the reaction alongside me, and we'll having a lot of fun with this. You know, just the two of us, me and my pony friend. That's not weird at all. Nope, not at all. Anyway, let's go, shall we? All right. Oh, and one more acknowledgement before we get into this. I do know something about the plot going into it. Not anything major, but you can thank the annoyingness of thumbnails for that. All I know is that a certain character will show up and that will be doing something that we've done before in a given episode. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? 3, 2, 1, play.
Highlights in the world of sports. Buckball fever has swept Equestria. What started as a backyard hobby for fruit farmers and the like has blossomed into a literal phenomenon.
Did he say a hobby for fruit farmers? That's hilarious. Also, nice to see our team back together for another game. Question though, how does this work with the rest of their schedule? I mean, they're also teachers now. Well, 2 of them are. And they also have regular jobs. Well, Pinky does at least.
Delivering a state-of-the-art locale where fans Equestria over can celebrate their passion.
Okay, cool. Town Spas.
Though, given the game's recent nature, the only inductees so far will be the members of the current championship team from Ponyville.
Do you think they know we're here?
Ah! Hey, they acknowledge that movies exist in this universe. Nice. I like that.
Good idea about what?
Nice to see you again, Snails. Well, that was good. That was pretty much what I expected. I knew there was going to be something going on because, you know, Buckball. And then again, I'm not going to say who, but I do know a certain character will be coming back into the fold. But regardless, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the fact that, like, they brought Buckball back. You know, it's a good way, especially since that was a pretty good episode as far as I was concerned. So seeing a follow-up in this way is great. Although, you know, I had also the joke about, like, it starting out as a game specifically for fruit farmers is now something this big, also that it got this big. Oh man, I'm curious. So interesting way to go into it. And again, I like that this is the first heavy time. We've had certain nods to it being a thing in the past, but I like that this is the first time we've really seen that movies are a thing in Equestria. And if we don't get some fan fiction that really gets into that, I'm going to be super disappointed. But anyway, yeah, okay, let's see where this goes, because I'm genuinely excited for this one, even if I'm a little, it's not even really spoilers, it's just kind of facts. Like, trust me, I don't know what's actually going to happen, but man, well, except for the Buckball thing, but whatever. And that one character who hasn't shown up yet, but we'll see, 1.
I can't believe the ponies of Appaloosa built this place. Yeah,
Neither can I.
Especially after their team lost to us. They must really love Buckball. Oh my gosh, it's you! I can't believe you're you! I mean, here! I mean, Team Ponyville! Yeah!
Yep, it does.
How much for an autograph?
Bits for autographs, eh? Snails, you thinking what I'm thinking?
Was the sound of one hoof clapping?
Yeah! I mean, no! How many of you would pay for an autograph from my best friend Snails?
I mean, I suppose entrepreneurism.
That's a lot of writing.
I'm so proud they decided to
I love that
follow
that's
us.
his response.
Really
That's
wanted to
that's
be
so
in
Snails.
the
Also,
Hall of
hey,
Fame.
they're not stopping it. I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with making a little money off that, especially since, like, granted, hey man, I mean, as long as this doesn't turn into a problem, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. You know, I mean, I am, after all, a capitalist. Not that I'm making any money off this video, but I am still a capitalist, so, you know. Nice. Also, I still love that the signature is just the hoof print.
We can't play without him, and if we lose or forfeit one game, we'll be out of the tournament.
Well, he better get his flank over here then. You have to win the first few games without me cheering you on.
Oh, why?
Applejack was too busy to come, so she made me promise to go to all the museum exhibits and tell her about them. I'm gonna try and get in first and beat the crowd so I can get back to the tournament faster.
Ooh,
Well-
then you'd better hurry.
Well, at least Rainbow's doing a favor for AJ. Also, I am glad they at least acknowledge that AJ isn't here, even though, you know, it is really weird that she's not.
What kind of sports fan can't
Oh,
stand for a
wait,
museum?
is that who I think it is?
The question is, what kind of sports fan doesn't?
Quibble Pants?
Rainbow Dash, fancy meeting you here.
Fancy
Ha!
meeting me?
I knew-
I'm a sports pony. Of course I'd be here. What's fancy is you being here. If fancy meant confusing.
There's nothing fancy or confusing about it. You can't keep me away from that buckball rink. I'm the biggest fan there is.
Oh, okay, see, I don't believe you.
It's a buckball field. And you are?
Oh, sure. But with
You
all
see,
the
I would have believed him,
bucking
but then
and the
he's
balling
really not as
on the
convincing as
buckball
he's
field,
trying to be.
which is
You
where
can
they
tell he's
play buckball.
bullshitting this
I
situation.
wanted to be first inside to experience the grand history of the sport. I guess only a real fan would understand that.
What?
Oh, perfect timing. Rainbow Dash, I'd like you to meet Clear Sky, the most amazing pony I've ever met.
You
Ah.
a daring do, so that's probably an exaggeration. No offense.
None taken. When it comes to describing your special sun pony, a little exaggeration's normal. And I feel the same way about you.
And who's
Ah.
this?
This is my daughter, Windsprint.
And she is pretty amazing too.
Wind, did you thank Quibble for camping out so we'd be first in line?
Thanks.
No problem.
Okay, I like this. I like this. So he's exaggerating his interest in sports to try and connect with his girlfriend and her daughter, apparently. So good for you, Quibble. Also, nice for acknowledging that broken families do exist in Equestria. Divorce is a thing, and I've never think I'd be happy to say that before, but I am. Who would have thunk
We
it?
could just go to the tournament instead.
No, Quibble planned this whole thing for us, and you could be a little more appreciative.
Okay, situation's a little bit more complicated. Also, this does kind of ruin the fact that I kind of shipped Rainbow with Quibble, but yeah, I'm not the one to break up a relationship just for a good ship. So good for you, Quibble. And okay, Rainbow's better off single anyway, I guess.
I'd like
Kind
a
of.
chance to catch up with Rainbow Dash. Why don't we split up? We'll cover more ground that way, and
So, you and Clear Sky, huh?
oh yeah, she's great. Honestly, I've never been happier. Which is why I need your help. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
See this? I don't know what it is.
A ball?
What, and this? No idea.
It's a basket. How do you not know what these are?
I'm not even 100% sure what bucking is. I literally know nothing about buckball or any other sport.
Well, I figured you weren't the sportiest pony in Equestria.
But Windsprint is, and her dad was some big athlete too. I can't compete with that. I really want things with Clear Sky to work out, but if Wind doesn't like me, I might as well give up.
Why?
They're a family. Even if it's okay with Clear Sky, I wouldn't ask them to make me a part of it if Windsprint isn't on board.
You're too nice a guy, Quibble. I mean, I agree
If I
with
could
you, but
convince Wind I'm
still.
some big buckball fan, we'd have something to bond over, but I'm pretty sure she's on to me.
Here.
Or she's...
Shot.
Dude, I think you're giving that situation too much credit. I don't think she cares whether or not you're an athlete. I think she cares that she thinks you're I think she's more upset that you're breaking up what her, like, she's blaming you for breaking up her family, even though there was clearly problems with her parents' relationship. Otherwise, they wouldn't have not stopped being together in the first place. Again, I really do think you're giving your too much credit. Also,
True. The game's a lot harder to play with apples.
You play?
Who do you think taught them? Of course, being a Wonderbolt takes up most of my time, so I don't get to practice as much as I'd like.
Wait, you're Rainbow Dash? The Wonderbolt? Whoa, my dad was a great flyer too.
You don't say. You know, Quibble's pretty sporty too.
If you say so.
not helping.
I think I've seen enough of this museum for 3 Applejacks. Let's go watch some football!
That sounds awesome. Oh, but first, I got you a little surprise.
Oh, God, what did he get? I need to look at this, even though...
A book.
Oh, not just a book, it's a Buckball Almanac. This thing has every Buckball fact and statistic ever recorded.
Yeah, that sounds more like Quibble's,
I know,
like...
I never realized there was so much math in Buckball. I mean, this game's got more numbers than ogres and oubliettes.
Oh, come on.
I guess I could hold it for you, you know, so you don't have to carry it.
Can we go to the game now?
Sure, honey. Listen, this trip was a lovely idea and the book was sweet, but you don't have to try so hard. Everything's gonna be fine. Mwah.
Well, I appreciate her enthusiasm, but things are never that easy.
Do you mean
Seriously, this is the most realistic situation I've ever seen in an episode of MLP before, and it's kind of hurting my feelings.
Of course she will. She just needs to see her sporty side.
I don't have a sporty side.
Every pony has a sporty side, and we're gonna find yours.
I mean, to be fair, if Fluttershy can have a sporty side, I suppose that is probably true. No offense to Fluttershy. Also, Quibble, I do feel for you. All right. So the Almanac makes sense for him because, you know, facts, statistics, writing, probably better for him in the long run because, you know, he's Quibble. But on the other hand, it's like, wow, I didn't expect this. Also, like I said, kind of ruins my ship because I did ship Rainbow and Quibble. But you know what? I could deal with this. And I could also deal with Rainbow being single because I'm not going to ruin a canon relationship just to write a fanfic. Does make me have to rewrite my planned fanfics, though. That's going to be an issue. But regardless, I can live with this. Also, I do genuinely like that they introduced a realistic situation like this, where the parents are broken up and the child is clearly upset about it, especially now that her mother has a new partner. It's nice. It's a nice touch. And I will give credit to MLP for doing a lot of things I never would have expected them to do before I started watching the show, but this is genuinely something, even as I watched it, that I never thought I would see, and I'm happy about it, and I'm happy that I'm surprised about it, because surprised that despite knowing Quibble was going to show up, because I knew he was the one I knew was going to show up, and I'm surprised that, like, you know, I'm not surprised because that Buckball is here, but the fact that they're just the means for which this story to take place, I kind of really enjoy that. Also, I'm pretty sure she's not upset that you're not sporty. I mean, I don't think that definitely doesn't help because, you know, she doesn't feel like she can connect with you, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly because of her parents' relationship, you know, falling apart, which, you know, most divorced kids have to deal with. Not that my parents are still married, so I don't know what that's like. If you have to deal with it, I'll be more than happy to hear about your thoughts about the experience, but I've done research because, you know, I'm me, so of course I've done research on it, even though it's something I never want to experience personally or in any other area of my life. I don't want to, you know, because it makes me sad. But honestly, I'm really happy that they're going with this kind of situation because it's interesting and it's different. And it, you know, I mean, I have no doubt that it's going to, like, I do think it's really cringy how Quibble is going about this, but I can understand, you know, it's hard. He's like, you know, I can only imagine what it's like having to date a single parent where the kid just doesn't like you. Yeah. Also, I can't help but notice that, you know, again, I haven't memorized the characters' names yet because they just showed up, and it takes me a little while to do so. I hopefully will remember the characters' names by the end of the episode, but it is interesting to consider how, like the child is a Pegasus and the mother is a Earth pony. Regardless, I've talked too much. Let's get to the next part of the episode.
Look, I'm not saying it's a terrible idea, but it's a terrible idea. You can't turn me into an athlete. It's impossible.
It's either that or be yourself and bond with Wind over comic books and role-playing games.
I have a 17 charisma, right? Don't you think I tried? She doesn't even like daring do. She thinks she's not athletic enough.
What? Wow. We need to get started on Operation Sportify.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. I kind of figured that was going to be a plot point. She does.
To figure out what your sporty side is, we just need to see what your skills are. Every pony's got something. Speed. Strength.
Whoa!
Agility. Of course, some ponies can do it all.
You're amazing, but what about me?
Right. We should probably start small. I'll pass the ball to you, and you just pass it back to me. Okay?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Oh.
And buckball! Ow.
Okay. Maybe agility's not your thing. Ready?
If I say no, do I still have to run?
Yep.
Can we get on with this? Snails and I did so well with the autographs, we decided to expand. And these souvenirs are not going to sell themselves.
Okay, so apparently Snips is a schemer. Also, I like that he's being used here because
Speed.
this should be.
Speed.
Go!
Speed. Whew! Okay, what a race, right?
That was pathetic.
So much for speed.
That was about what I expected, but it was still pathetic.
I've got to get back to work.
Ha, nice.
Come on, Quibble. You got this.
He really doesn't. I like the guy, but he really doesn't. Okay, that's funny.
This is hopeless. I don't have any skills, not agility, not speed. I can't even lift more than one book, and I love books.
If we had time to train, I know I could mold you into the perfect sports pony.
Okay, you know, you can be skilled at things other than physical
Or
stuff.
at least a sportier pony.
Like, really, there are other skills. You have other skills.
Like me now.
You're just focusing on physical stuff. And it's dumb. And you guys are missing the game, which is even
Maybe
dumber.
you're not the best athlete in Equestria, or the most coordinated, or the fastest, or even a little bit strong.
I'm sorry, wait, is this supposed to be making
Rainbow
you feel better?
never
It's not.
changed.
No,
Yeah, actually, you know what? Change a little bit because you know what? You're hurting my feelings, and I'm not Quibble. Granted, I relate to Quibble a little bit, but I could still probably outrun him, and he has the four-leg advantage. Yeah, Pink A! Use that tail, Fluttershy. Seriously, Snails is freaking dangerous. Like with he's
Wow, the players from Ponyville are so good.
They sure are.
Quibble, where have you been? I was hoping we'd all watch the tournament together.
okay. Yeah, she is a unicorn. I don't know why I flubbed on that earlier. It's like okay, I thought about it, and then it's like that's right. She used her magic to get the damn basket off of Quibble's bum. Seriously.
This is wonderful, Q. But I still feel like you're trying too hard to get Wynn's approval.
This is so great. Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy are the best players out there.
Well, you can thank Quibble. Wonderbolt's Buckball Stars. He's friends with the sportiest ponies around, so he must be pretty sporty too, right?
Your logic.
Oh, so this is Quibble Pants. Rainbow Dash told us all about how you two spent a whole Daring Do convention geeking out together about books. And even though at first she thought you were the most annoying fan pony she ever met, you two eventually became friends.
You're not helping in the least.
I guess even sports ponies agree. Quibble's a pony you like more and more over time.
Knowing sports ponies isn't the same as being one. What's it like playing in front of all those fans?
I
Yes.
guess you'll find out.
What
Wait.
do you mean?
Yes, what do you mean?
I think it's time we told Wind about your next surprise.
Look, you're not helping, Rainbow. You're being a dunce. Also, if Pinky, I think if Pinky and Fluttershy had related their being afraid from before, that would have helped. You're being really unhelpful.
Game of Buckball against Team Ponyville.
We're what?
That's a terrible idea. Although it does help. Okay, I see now why the mother and child are now a unicorn and a Pegasus, respectively. Because now they can actually do this. You know, play a game of buckball. Also, they're going to fail. Not necessarily because, you know, Quibble is bad. Because, just because, the mother, she might not do well either. Does that, seriously? This is, Also, Rainbow, I seriously think if she had just let Fluttershy and Pinky explain how they were, didn't want, they felt the pressure before, that would have helped. I really do. It would have given this child a mindset about how sports ponies are great, but, and I'm not a big sports person. I don't watch sports. I've been to sporting events before. I've enjoyed them. I'm just not because following that stuff, it's not a field of my interest. But I appreciate it, and I appreciate the hard work that is needed, along with the dedication to being an athlete. All right. Hey, here's a question. Since this is not these three are not a professional team, does that make them does that make this a exposition game? Also, oh, okay, that was I was gonna make fun of her a little bit, but that was actually a little bit impressive.
You should probably stretch.
No amount of stretching is gonna make this okay. What were you thinking?
Look, you wanted to impress Windsprint, and this just made sense.
Really? How does me making a fool of myself in front of her, Sky, and a billion Buckball fans make sense?
That's a really good point.
Hurry, I've got your flank. I already talked to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. They're totally gonna make you look good.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe this isn't the absolute worst idea ever.
Seriously? That's where you're going with this? I really hate that idea. I hate that, especially considering this is not going to work out. Oh, okay. They're using snails. They're using snails instead of the mother. I mean snips. God. But all right, that's that. I can live with that. Oh, Pinky, don't make that look. She's.
And that's one for the Ponyville champs. Looks like these fans don't know what they signed up for.
Seriously, even when they don't try to help him out, they're still too good. How does that make any sense? Okay, there you go.
Oh no! Quibble's wide open and I'll never get there in time to block.
Why are you relying? Nobody in Equestria is getting good at lying! Nobody!
Ooh, looks like our fan team needs to work on their passing.
Oh god, this is disheartening, and I don't feel good about this at all. I like how Pinky was actually kind of excited. Oh, hell, he actually did it. I mean, I was.
Fan team finally scores for the other side. That makes 3. Team Ponyville wins.
Figures. I mean, I figured they were there was no way, but still, that wasn't actually a bad
Very
buck.
clearly on page 647 of the expanded Buckball tournament rules that a goal is scored when an Earth Pony sends the ball into a basket, but it doesn't say which basket.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every pony knows you're not supposed to score in the other team's goal.
But the rules don't say that. If that goal is ours, it's only 2-1, and we can keep playing.
I don't want to. You're not a sports pony. It's not fun playing this game with you.
I was just trying to get her to like me.
I know, but I told you didn't need to. You and I have to rethink all of this.
What are you doing out here?
Apparently, this book is as close to sports as I'll ever get.
Come on! That goal you scored for the other team was amazing!
Oh, thanks for trying, Rainbow Dash, but I think we can both agree the whole Sportify idea was a big flop.
What? We haven't even gotten started! I've got like 7 more top-notch ideas to turn you into a super sporty pony!
Wynn's already made up her mind, and so have I. time to throw up the towel.
It's throw in the towel, and that's ridiculous. You can't just give up.
Pimp and Sky deserve a pony they both like in their lives. Besides, Sky wants to rethink things, so I'm just beating her to the lunch.
It's beating her to the punch, and it's barely a sports reference. How do you not know that?
Because I don't know anything about sports! And pretending I did just made things worse.
So you should stop pretending. Look, you are terrible at sports. You're uncoordinated, slow, weak,
Okay, again, not really making me feel better.
and you're completely clueless about anything having to do with athletics. But maybe I'm not the pony you should have come to for help.
Oh.
That's a very good point,
Wish
because...
we didn't even come here.
Quibble thought you'd like it.
Well, I don't, and I don't like him. Why do you like him?
Because he's kind and smart, and his friends certainly seem to care about him, which is always a good sign.
I don't care how many ponies care about him. They're not gonna make me forget about Dad.
Oh, sweetheart, I know Quibble's trying too hard, but he doesn't want you to stop loving your dad. He just wants you to like him. And I think maybe there's enough room in your heart to do both.
Hey there. Glad I found you because I have a confession to make. I know it's hard to imagine, but I'm really not all that sporty.
No.
I'm sorry I was trying so hard to convince you otherwise. I just really wanted us to get along, but I guess it backfired. Do you think we could start over? Maybe we could watch some of the tournament together and you could teach me some sports stuff?
Alright, see, that's good. I appreciate that. Also, I like that we got a moment with the two side characters that were introduced in this episode by themselves. That was good.
But I probably won't. Oh, look, Pinkie Pie's gonna flip and triple bounce the ball into the goal.
How did you know that?
It's right here. Pinkie flips and triple bounce bucks over 83% of her shots from the northwest section of the field when the wind is blowing from the east.
Huh. I guess this book's kind of cool after all.
Look, Sky, I know you're thinking of calling it quits between us, and after today, I don't blame you. But when did I just made a connection?
Calling it quits? What are you talking about?
You said you wanted to rethink things.
Yeah, things like having your friend help you pretend to be a sports pony so Wind would like you.
What? I didn't. What?
So, what? Nah.
Yeah,
look what
I like
Papa
that.
showed me.
Those
When
two
Freddy
are
showed
really
Five
genuine
Guys
friends, and I like
Pieces,
that. That was a good
this
touch.
was
Alright,
92%
thumbs up
of
for
the
that.
time, and it just happened.
Wow, you better watch out or you're gonna start to like books.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, books are cool. I don't read as many as I'd like, but they are cool.
Famous ponies are lavish gifts to bond with Wind after all.
Technically, he still needed to buy her the book, but that's it.
Alright, is that the end? Is that the end? And it is the end. Okay, alright, that was good. I like that. Let's get to this, shall we? I got some thoughts. Alright. Well, what do I think of this episode? I actually really liked it. It did better than I thought it would, and it handled the situation great. For one, it like the situation with the child, realistically not necessarily being a fan of the, like this new person in their lives, and the idea that they're trying to replace the other parent. That make perfect sense. So that was the big highlight of the episode. And like I said, the fact that that mother and daughter, I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. I don't remember their names. Granted, how many of you remember their names after just watching this episode for the first time? Who knows? But I don't. Regardless, I appreciate that they got a moment to themselves where the mother talked to her and talked to her daughter and convinced her that, yeah, she's not trying to replace the kid's father. She's just trying to allow her to like her new beau. And that's all you need. Also, I like the idea that, granted, I don't think if you hear someone really need to rethink things, you're necessarily thinking of quitting the relationship, or at least that shouldn't be, but then again, I don't have enough relationship experience to say for certain. But still, I like the joke about it being not letting, again, Rainbow is not the best friend to help with that situation. Also, neither of them, that reaction at the end was perfect, where they both a little nervous. Also, he might not know enough, all that much about sports, but he's good with statistics and facts and books. So clearly, Quibble at least can read the sports situation, even if he doesn't really understand it, which is kind of amazing, but whatever. So I thought this episode was pretty funny. I liked the new characters. Like I said, that moment where the mother and daughter were just talking by themselves with no one else around, it was brilliant. It was a great touch. It was something that, we probably might not have gotten in past seasons. Have we ever gotten a scene where we have just the new characters by themselves who we're probably not going to see again? So that was a brilliant touch, and I liked it. I also thought this episode was amazingly funny. I don't know if I said that already, but I thought it was really funny. I laughed surprisingly, and I like that the situation where Snips is making a profit off of Snail's likeness essentially and merch is not treated as a problem, because I have no doubt that he's definitely going to share the profits with his best bro, and that they're going to make a hell of a killing. And I am, as a capitalist, I appreciate that. So good work. Also, I will say, Appaloosa building this entire town around Buckball. They really, really like Buckball. Damn straight. But overall, I'd say this was a really good episode, and I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if I could express it more than that. I do think it's interesting that they didn't include Applejack, and I guess it's because they already had enough characters in the episode. Pinky and Fluttershy were barely there. We got a nice snippet from Snails, and I like that we got a little bit more from Snips, because it meant that we got a little bit more of his character as well. And the fact that we have that going on. And I like that the fact that Applejack was there, I imagine, was just management. They only have 20 minutes, and they've got to fit these two new characters in, along with both Rainbow and Quibble, and they've got to have at least a little bit from Pinky and Fluttershy. So they've only got so much room for characters, so no wonder they didn't include AJ. Regardless, I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was written well. I thought it was realistic, and it was something I never thought we'd see in an episode of MLP ever, so I'm really excited about this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed this video, blah, blah, blah. Please, if you feel so inclined, come back for more. This is Mike, Ringmaster of the Imagination Circus. Thank you for watching.